Back at the Seed to Success podcast, episode number 3.
That's it.
And we're here with some very special guests today.
You want to introduce yourself, boys?
For those that don't know, tell the people who you are.
Vernon, man, I go by Pryme. The writer of Lil Ron Ron. Newly found a career in jeweling, doing jewelry, bottled water, crypto, insurance adjusting, just all around entrepreneur, man.
A man of many hats.
Yeah. Film producer, innovation and invention. Got to pursuing a few patents.
Okay.
Just a lot of different things, man. So there's a lot that goes on up under that empire umbrella, and just, hey man, I'm just happy y'all invited us to Seeds to Success.
Hey,
Oh
man.
man, we're blessed to have y'all, man. We're thrilled to have you guys. For those that don't know, boss, tell them about yourself.
Yeah, what's going on, man? It's Marvell Caster, also known as Boss. I'm the CEO of Triple Threat Entertainment Empire.
Okay.
Co-founder, me and Pryme.
Nice.
You know, we also have partners under that as well, Daniel Davis and Shawan French. So, but that's who I am. I've been in entertainment for a minute. Man.
That's a cool name, though, by the way, the Triple Threat Entertainment.
Yeah, 3T. It's
It's nice.
been there for a minute.
And
Yeah.
I think I'm familiar with it, man. I feel like I've
it
heard that in
sounds very
circles.
familiar.
I could swear I've heard that in
Sounds very
circles.
familiar.
I mean, a while back, man, we had a group called Verbal Assassins, and then we had an R&B artist who was L Boogie at the time. So we ended up signing. Had L Boogie signed with Bodyhead Entertainment, Roy Jones Jr. label. So that was kind of a staple for a minute, as well as Verbal Assassin. So we had a decent fan base with that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay.
So the brand been around for a minute, and then once we kind of rebranded, you know what I'm saying? Just the other group kind of like ran its course. We're still cool with everybody and whatever. So
Right.
And then I met this dude here, Pryme, and through Pryme I met Daniel, and
Nice.
Right.
I already knew, you know what I'm saying, and then Pryme and Alex, you know what I'm saying. So
You're
it's just
around
kind
a lot
of
of-
we all the pieces of this puzzle was kind of strategically put together. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been a lot. It's popping, yeah.
So when you met Pryme, was Lil Ron Ron already in action?
No.
No.
Yeah. So
Okay.
man, it's like me and Pryme, like I said earlier, we met through some family members of mine. You know what I'm saying? And Pryme was already cool with them, Low Key and Emil, my cousin.
It's funny because I was cool with them, but I had just met them.
Yeah.
I used to make music. They heard me rap, and they were just enamored by that. And then they told me that I had to meet him, because he had already had some motion going, and he was about to do like some big part. I know y'all probably don't remember, like what's the club over there behind Waffle House? I mean the club behind Walk-Ons.
Yeah, Big Daddy's.
Big
It was Big
Daddy's,
Daddy's,
yeah. So he was about to do an event at Big Daddy's, man. I remember I pulled up on him at Big Daddy's and pause. That's crazy, but
Who was that? Was that the night it was Kevin Gates, or was that after that?
no, Kevin Gates was after that. That
okay.
was during like the Young Thug days.
Oh,
when,
wow.
like,
Yeah,
when like Young Thug. So we
yeah.
talking like on the timeline 2010, 2011-ish, and for me, that was like a very humbling time. I didn't have a lot of motion at that time at all. I think I had just got done working the BP oil spill or whatever, trying to figure out what I was gonna do next after that.
Good money.
Yeah, that was
good money right there.
It was good money, but if I had, you got to think, man, at that time, 2011,
Right.
Bitcoin might have been under $100.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So if I
It
was
was probably cheaper than that.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
God,
So,
no.
like, working those, I'll never forget, our checks was like $1,200. If I would have just put, at that time, I had the mindset of typical dude from Mobile, like, you flip money either, the street way, or you try to go get parlays and sports betting and whatever. So I understand. And fun fact, I'm very good at counting cards and blackjack. So and playing poker. So that was my hustle. Like it literally, after the oil spill, I probably gambled for a year and a half straight before I ever went to Austin or whatever, and it was so stupid. But I just look back now, looking at because I still ended on top, like as far as financially.
Yeah.
But if I would have took that same money instead of putting it on sports tickets and stuff like that and just dropping it into Bitcoin, man.
Oh man. Totally different ball.
I probably have a set of platinum lungs.
I swear.
Well, while we're on subject,
What
man,
a time.
you've helped me majorly with crypto. Like you and Ron and Tanashi and David, and listen to y'all talk about it. Mm-hmm. And I think it's worth, because we're here to drop gems and we're here to kind of help the viewers, like, get the seeds to success, So if you had to tell anyone out there who's maybe in the phase of working at Dossel and gambling at blackjack table, what would you tell them, man? Go buy what? Because you can't. I mean, they could buy Bitcoin right now, but it might not be the best investment. So what would you think? Like,
this is not financial advice.
Yeah. Please put that disclaimer out there. This is not financial advice at all. However, yeah. So buying Bitcoin right now, unless you got $1 million to drop. If you got $1 million to drop, then most definitely I would buy Bitcoin because I'm fairly certain that Bitcoin is going to 5x. In the near future. This bull cycle is pushing it, but I would not be surprised, especially
if you scroll out.
Huh?
If you scroll out.
Oh yeah.
It's been doing
If you scroll out, man, most definitely it can go crazy, especially with seeing all the institutional money. So you got retail investors and you got institutional investors, and retail investors are me and you. These are the people who spending anywhere from 50 to 50,000 at a time. That's retail, but when you start going over that and you're buying like big quantities and you got crowdfunding, because that's all like BlackRock and Grayscale and all that. What they're doing with the ETFs is, to simplify that, it's just crowdfunding, and they're buying 600 million at a time and worth of Bitcoin at a time and stuff like that. But you got to think, if Bitcoin just 2x's and you got 600 million, that's $1.2 billion, and it's almost guaranteed to 2x. What else can you do to make $600 million in 150 days?
Yeah, but okay, but that's for the above average.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the average people, now, because I'm, and this is me having to talk with him too, because this is my crypto advice, man, too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he been telling me about crypto for a while, and you know what I'm saying? I tiptoed in, and it's, I've learned a lot from him because of it, being around him and Ron. But like I said, me and him talk every day. So for the average person, what altcoins who don't have $1 million to put into Bitcoin, what altcoins do you feel right now are not financial advice? I'm sorry.
Once again, this is not financial
But
advice.
what altcoins do you feel would you invest in?
Yeah,
Right.
so I'm gonna just talk about my portfolio because it's a million.
Yeah.
It's a million altcoins out there. So when you're talking about altcoins, the main thing that you want to understand, because people always ask me about Shiba and Dogecoin and stuff like that. These are meme tokens, right? And so if you got to spare $100 that you just want to throw in something and pull the slot machine, then okay, cool, that's fine. But am I going to make a steady investment in this? Absolutely not. Because it can't. Shiba and Dogecoin, they move off of hype. They move off of everybody on Twitter
Elon
talking
Musk.
about it. Elon Musk, the right influencer saying the right thing. But coins like Phantom, Tailcoin, Bax, Trias,
Please,
these are the coins that move strictly off of utility. And utility is what the coin is actually used for.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of people had this misconception that my dad, when I first invested in crypto, he's like, it's not gold, it's not tangible, you can't hold it, it's not real, it's on cyberspace, anybody can just take it from you, and it took forever for me to be able to get, and he still doesn't really get it, but get him to at least try to understand that it's utility. Like Phantom is an ecosystem. It's smart contracts can be built on it. It's no different than the Apple Store or the Android Google Play Store or anything like that. Actual softwares can be built on this in this ecosystem and be strong because of the transactional speed of Phantom. So the Phantom network, they're about to drop what's called the Sonic Mainnet. And that's going to increase it was already fast, but that's going to increase the speed even more.
Warp speed.
Yeah, so we are so ahead of the curve. It's like being in 1999 investing in Google.
Right.
And like investing in Amazon. And I can vividly remember getting ready for school one morning, and they were talking about Amazon on the news, and this is just when he was selling books, and it was buying people, online bookstore or whatever, and my mom was just like, "That's stupid. I could just go out and buy it. Why would I buy something online? Like I don't get it."
I said that.
Yeah.
I feel like I said that exact. Dude, I had that exact. I remember being young, thinking, "Who's buying books?
Yeah.
You can get a book for free from." I'm like, "Who's buying books?" Million.
And so the dude is now literally selling drugs. You know what I'm saying? Amazon has a pharmaceutical aspect to it now. So everything is great. You have to be able. One of my favorite sayings is sight and vision are two different things. If you're not blind, right? If you can see the little board with the letters on it, you have sight. But to have vision is to be able to see what is not obviously ocular.
Beyond that.
Yeah. So
beyond it.
Yeah, so having sight and vision are two different things. So part of being a good investor is to be able to have vision. Because a lot of people, it's only as good as what they see. Like they're looking at this table, and all they see is a flat surface. I for whatever reason, I'm seeing all the geometry of this table, the what went into it, the artistry of it, and that's just the beauty of life, man.
Right.
Seeing around the bend,
Yeah,
That's that one man's trash is another man's treasure type of thing too. It's something like that. It's like, say how you look at this table and one person can see it as it's just a table, but have a vision and someone can turn it into something that's even more than what that table is.
I've read a lot of self-help, like a lot of self-help books, and they all talk about what you're talking about. Like a lot of them talk about like being able to see around the bend, just see around the corner,
Yeah, and that's the thing, because a lot of people are just waiting on something to either fall in their lap or trying to emulate what has been done already. And like I said, like nobody's journey is the same. You know what I'm saying? My footprints will never look like your footprints. So you have to blaze your own trail. For those of us that is not given to, you have to blaze your own trail in order to set fire to things.
And that takes a lot of courage.
It does. But if you
discipline.
Yeah.
Very important.
And everyone around you, especially the people close to you, are going to be telling you not to do.
The circle is almost.
Do the safe thing.
Who you hang with, man. You are who you hang with is just as important as you are what you eat. Those two things go hand in hand.
That's important, man.
What you eating and who you eating with.
Yeah.
Those right there. That's gonna definitely mold your character over time. Yeah. That's like keeping a good man honest.
Yeah, keeping an honest man honest.
An honest man honest, that type of. You be around some dudes, you could be a good guy. You go. That's like sending that one dude to prison that really didn't want to be there in the first place. Yeah, they come out hardened, Yeah.
So,
but before we get too far away from the crypto thing too, can you kind of explain how do you go about purchasing it? Because some people don't know the basics of it.
Thank you for asking.
You know what I'm saying?
Man,
and I know it changed because it was KuCoin. It was KuCoin that a lot of people was purchasing from or whatever. And there's people who are still holding assets over on KuCoin
I've got
today.
a lot.
How do I get that back, bro?
No, it's not going anywhere. Though.
No, it ain't going nowhere, man. You
gotta get a new IP.
I was wondering about that.
Somebody told me that's what I might.
No, you can still transfer and sell. You just can't buy.
Man, I didn't mind.
So the short answer is a lot of stuff is coming to the bigger exchanges. Like Phantom is on crypto.com now, and it's coming to Coinbase. They've already put a spot trade option for it on there. So Tailcoin can be bought directly off of its website. Bax, I know they were having some issues with it, but once they fix that bug, it'll be able to be bought off of its website. Some coins, so there are a lot of coins that are built on the Ethereum network, and when they're built on the Ethereum network, MetaMask is a great place to go get a lot of what we call ERC20 tokens, which just basically mean they're on the Ethereum network. And you got a lot of coins that are also built on the Solana network. And though Solana has went up in price so much because of the meme craze that went crazy. Like it's like, cause it was one coin called like dog with hat, right?
Yeah.
And if you would have put, it was one Sunday morning. I don't remember the exact Sunday morning, but I was telling Alice about it when it happened. If you had put $100 in it that Sunday morning, Sunday night, that $100 would have been like 10 grand by that night, because the meme craze on Solana was going crazy. It's slightly dying down now. I've seen a couple of them still break out, but it's slightly dying down. Kind of how the NFT craze was back in like 2021. You know, everybody was so big on NFTs. Like, you know, you just had to have these NFTs, and it was like one of 7 NFTs, and all of them was selling for 50 grand a piece and stuff. And people now, they have these NFTs and they don't even know, you know, what to do with them or whatever. But there will be a time when these things are viable assets. You just when investing, with a lot of people, they still try to make crypto a day trading thing. And you can I'm not saying that you can't day trade crypto, but the long game in crypto is much more valuable, because if you could have bought Tesla at its ground floor price, or Coca-Cola at its ground floor price, or Google at its ground floor price, that's kind of where we are right now. So when people see something go from a penny to 50 cents, they're wowed by it. But if it's a good coin with good utility, you ain't seen nothing, and they'll be like just compelled to just sell everything because they seen it go from $1 to 50 cents. And in all honesty, you should take profit. That's a lesson that I had to learn. You should take profit, but you never sell all of your bag, because at the end of the day, what goes up must come down. So it doesn't matter if it exceeds its all-time high. Phantom I watched it go from a penny to $3.48 to falling back down to 15 cents. So you got to think, if I rolled it up from a penny to $3.48, sold 75% of my bag, you know, now that's still millions of dollars. You know, like, sold 75% of my bag. I watch it come down to 15 cents. I could take 30% of that bag and have 3 times more than what I started with. This is called dollar cost averaging, DCA. If you ever see people talk about that, that's what dollar cost averaging is being able to know when to pull profit, letting the asset fall, and then being able to jump back in when it's at a lower price.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I just learned something because I didn't know that.
You didn't know what?
I didn't know dollar cost average. I didn't know what that actually was. What that actually.
Yeah, but doesn't the concept make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
So your initial dollar cost isn't necessarily important. It's about the average that you have spent. Okay, now if you, which, you know, I know somebody that did this, and you know, I begged them not to do it. This is the wrong way to dollar cost average. I got in it at a penny. I bought some. I get excited because I see it's going to 7 cents. I buy some more, but you don't realize that you're paying 7 times more than you just paid at a penny, right? I watch it go to 14 cents. I'm even more excited. I'm just gonna keep dumping money into it. So now you need it to go to the moon, like right. to be able to come back down. But once it settles, you can still take profit and put that money to work for you, and take a small amount of your profit and get back in and have the same amount that you started with.
When it comes time, I'm gonna have to pay for a consultation or something.
Yeah,
Because I'm not ready yet. But when it is time,
Yeah.
especially for the Tailcoin.
Yeah.
Once that, because it's
Yeah, man, Tailcoin is a beautiful project, and I believe in it. But just to make the math make sense for people, if an asset is at a penny, right? You had $1,000. If you spend $1,000 on something that costs a penny, you have 100,000 of that said asset. If that said asset goes to $1, now you have $100,000 off of a $1,000 investment. So now you pull $50,000. This is crypto. It is damn near guaranteed for that asset to drop at least 60%. So it drops from $1 to 40 cents because it dropped 60%. You literally have pulled $50,000. So if you just take half of that and buy back in, you are still going to have a large amount of total. You got 50,000 left.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna put 25,000 into this token that is now 40,000, which means that you're going to get a little over 50,000 coin, like right at 60,000. You got 50,000 already, so now you got 110,000 of that said asset when all you started off with was 100, and you still got 50,000 in cash that you got to the side to do whatever you want to do with.
And so long as your project that you're invested in goes up over time, it is an appreciating asset. So it's a lot more valuable there than it would be in the bank.
Absolutely,
because
and that's
the bank ain't gonna give you nothing for it. In fact, what they're gonna do is go play with it for you.
yeah.
They're gonna go risk it.
Man, if you talk to any like insanely rich person, a superiorly wealthy person, everybody's money is tied up in investments. This is for several reasons. If something goes on where they sue the person, they sue you yourself, that is the money that they'll have access to. You might see Warren Buffett with $8,000 in his checking account, and you wondering like, this is Warren Buffett. Why does he have $8,000 in his checking account? It's because all of his assets are tied up in different things, and he's protecting himself. Like I went in the bank the other day, and they were offering me like, we got a 3% APR, and I thought it was hilarious because you can stake in USDC on crypto and get a 6% return on your money. Like, what are you even talking about? Yeah, and then you're not gonna let me touch it when I want to touch it, and no diddy. But the bank is going to let me get it whenever I want. I mean, crypto, I'm gonna be able to get it whenever I want.
That was a point I actually was trying to bring up earlier. I think we got off topic, or maybe the construction started. But I was gonna say, if me and you were mega millionaires, right, and you're like, hey man, I want to buy your Ferrari. It's pretty, and I like this one. I want to buy this one, and I'm like, all right, cool. It's gonna be like $1 million, and you're like, all right. Well, let me call my bank and see if they got the $1 million. They're going to be like, oh, no, we need like 4 or 5 days to wire it and all this shit. But if you got crypto and I got crypto, you can send it to me right here and now.
And literally, 15-minute transaction.
Yeah.
15-minute transaction.
And that's something that I feel like isn't talked about a lot for why crypto could be so valuable is because of the speed at which you could transfer value. It's
peer-to-peer, and the reason why the governing bodies don't like it is because it takes them out of the loop. They're not able to capitalize off of it, or they're not able to know, what's what and what's this. But with crypto, it's the most beautiful bill of sale of all time because it's on the blockchain. You cannot delete what's on the blockchain. You cannot forge what's on the blockchain. You cannot duplicate what's on the blockchain. That transaction is going to be there for all time.
So expand on the blockchain for those that don't know.
So the blockchain is, man, it's hard for me to kind of explain it, but in so many words, man, like a sidewalk pattern, like if you just imagine how each block on the sidewalk is, each block on the sidewalk represents a transaction that is just frozen in time, like it's in stone, it's set there, it's never gonna move, and and moving on and moving on and moving on. So the record of it is always there. If I take $1 and I go buy a piece of gum or whatever, that dollar is going to get lost in circulation. It's eventually going to make its way back to the Federal Reserve, and they're going to burn the bill once they feel like it's too worn out to be in circulation. We don't know what happened to that original dollar that I spent that first time. The transactions that are on the blockchain, I don't give a shit if it's 62 years from now. You'll be able to go back and find those original dollars, and you can even trace those Bitcoin that you sent to somebody else and where they have been over this whole span of time. So it's called the wallet address. You know, with the wallet address or the transaction address, you can be able to know where this stuff is went, where it's gone, and you got a pure record of it the whole time. Crypto is just beautiful, man, because it just they make it they pervert it into, oh, well, this is something that's used on the dark web. You don't think USD is used on the dark web? Like, people use money on the dark web. What were they using before crypto? You know, so it's the same thing, man. It just comes down to the powers of that be and what they deem
and they're gonna
acceptable.
And they're going to demonize it because, like you said, it takes the power out of their hands.
Yeah.
So.
But they're trying to regulate it now, and, you know, you're going to have to pay capital gains tax. And fun fact for capital gains tax, if you let something sit for a year, you know, you had, like, it's normally 20% capital gains tax, but if you let it sit for a year, it drops to like 10%. So the difference of pulling $100,000 and paying 20,000 tax on it, and pulling $100,000 and paying 10,000 tax on it is significant, especially, you know, once you exponentiate those numbers and you start talking about 800,000 or 80 million or something like that. Now you're talking about big money. So if you leave something sitting, the longer you leave it sitting, I think it'll drop even more. Like 2 years and stuff like that.
So let me get this straight. If I pull out $100,000 right now, right?
And leave it in USDC. Do not touch it for a year. Okay. The tax cuts in half. Okay. If you leave it for 2 years, I don't know exactly how much the ratio is then, but it cuts again. And then they can't tax you on, and that man, like, that's the tax conversation I don't even want to have on air because I feel like they're gonna send somebody for me. But you know, it's ways around it. It's ways around it.
Yeah, taxes are tricky, man. Well, I'll say they're tricky. They're a lot of work, you know. It's a lot of, like, boring work. Me and my wife, we spend a couple weeks every year just sitting down and just knocking that out, just like in one big shebang. That way we don't have to do it. We don't do it quarterly. We probably should, but we do it annually because it's just a headache. But what we do, I'll just be transparent about what we do. We basically write everything off. We don't show any income. Yeah. That's what we do. Unless we got to make a big purchase and we need a loan or something. Yeah. But basically, you know, and everything we spend goes back into business, really and truly. Yeah. So that's kind of the playbook we use. We just write everything off. You know. Nah, and that's what you want to try to do. You know, in the grand scheme of things. But it's hard to say that. You know, your crypto gonna speak for itself. So, you know, you bought it. That again. Yeah. I'm gonna need a consultation because that I don't know. I haven't cashed out yet. Yeah, my boy David Dolan, man, he's like brilliance level of like mega mind when it comes to that. When it comes to that type of thing. So, and that's the crazy part too, man. So when you just start thinking about the universe and how it moves, like. It's a lot of people who just, and it's not just one person or any group of people. Like, it's a lot of times people who have left Mobile or people who are just in different places, never been to Mobile, or people's just conception of Mobile. Like, I remember I was in New York and, you know, somebody asked me where I was from and I told them I was from Mobile, Alabama. I'm thinking they ain't gonna know what I'm talking about. And he was just like, yeah, man, y'all snort a lot of powder down there. I was like, that. You know what I've noticed? Yeah, that ain't wrong. I bought an RV. I drove an RV all around the country for about a year. Yeah. Like, we just did the RV thing, me and my wife, my kids. And, like, we didn't renew our lease. We were just like, you know what, we're going to buy an RV and we're going to take off. And we did it. We did a full send on it. We took off all around the country. I'll tell you what, man, admitting that you're from here is never like a flex. It's never like a good thing.
Yeah.
It never like the conversation never gets better after that.
Yeah.
You know, they're always like, oh, okay, so what's wrong with you? You know,
So it's either gonna be snitching or it's gonna be drugs. It's gonna be, you know what I'm saying, snitching or drug use are gonna be the main two hot topics. But I'll say this: I know a lot of people across this country, and not one of them can show me a network more powerful than what was bestowed upon me in Mobile. What are the odds of Tanashi, Ron G, David Dolan, myself, all being within a 30-mile radius of each other, you know, when all of this was popping off? So people don't understand the Moon Seekers group, how many people changed their life. Like, we're not talking about one person, 5 people, 10 people, 20 people, 30 people. We're talking about thousands. There was at one point where me and Tanashi sat down and just did the math on like the 100 or 200 people that we knew had made money, and we stopped somewhere like $40 million. The Moon Seeker group had made, $40 million just amongst the people that we could think of. And, you know, he'll tell you the same thing. Like, that was amazing. And that was free. Not one person paid a single red cent for any of that information. Yeah. You know, and so when like I said, when I saw Tinashe posting about Bitcoin, like 2013, you know, like when it was cheap, like he used to talk about it so much. I was like, man, what is this dude talking about? But it wasn't till like 15 when I was at Austal. Me and Alex were at Austal, and man, like I told y'all before, like Austal, like I appreciate the role that it played in my life. But at the end of the day, I'm telling you, when people in hell are bad, they die and go to Austal. It's a fact. You know what I'm saying? So we're at work, miserable as usual. You know, probably about 2-3 hours into the shift. We about to go to a break or something, and I pull my phone out, and I see Tanashi talking about Digibike or whatever. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna just throw $50 in this thing. Like, and I downloaded the app, and you know, he taught me how to. At that time, it was called Poloniex, and I don't know. And then I only know of like something called like Big Mountain or something, and Poloniex were the only exchanges that I know of at that time. And then so I bought the Digibike, and I completely forgot about it. Months went by. Man, I looked back at it again, and it was like $2,000. And I was like, yo, and I really needed that $2,000 at the time. So I was like, man, it's something to this. Mm-hmm. And then it was a little while, life was lifing at that time. So I didn't really have the extra funds to put in the crypto. But once I got into insurance adjusting, I'll never forget it. It was the first deployment I had in insurance adjusting was some foolishness. Like, man, that was terrible. My first property deployment in Iowa. But then the second one, which was a work from home assignment that I ended up getting, that was out the pilot. But anyway, I dropped like $4,000 in this coin called SXP. And tonight, this is before I understood crypto. At that time, I'm running with whatever he tell me. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, SXP this, SXP that. Man, I dropped like $4,000 into it. Forgot about it. Like, ended up getting deployed to like Pennsylvania. By the time that $4,000 was still $4,000 when I left Mobile. By the time I got to Pennsylvania, I was there for less than 7 days. That $4,000 was $48,000. I was like, Jesus Christ!
Which one was that?
It was called SXP.
Which coin was that?
SXP. Yeah, and
I
so,
remember that too, because that's part of what made me really. Because he's sitting there doing it. He had been talking to me about crypto, but I had never seen
right
that kind
any
of
success.
Right.
Yeah. So during this time,
You
I
were
remember
like,
him.
oh shit.
I remember him sending me. I'm sure that shit is still in my phone.
Yeah.
I think he was sending it to me on Facebook. He was screenshotting it.
Yep.
And that shit was just going up.
See,
I'm talking about
I was-
every few minutes too. I remember from 20,000 to 30,000. I remember they got to 33,000. It was like Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
This motherfucker just kept going.
Yep.
Yeah,
I was kind of skeptical, and then I had the Telcoin take off, and I was like, oh,
that's
shit,
that's the first
back
one
in
that took off for me.
2021,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the last bull run,
Yeah.
I got up close to like 6 figures close to
Yeah.
it. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh shit. Like I didn't
Yeah.
put near that into it. And I
Yeah.
was like, and I never cashed it out.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh well.
So you didn't do nothing wrong because, like, again, it's bought sense, right? That was my first mini lesson, like, cause I did take some money from that. I needed a truck at the time, so I did take some money from that, and I bought the truck I needed to really get the job done, adjusting or whatever. And then that's when I just took the remainder and got into Phantom and Tailcoin and all that other stuff. But nothing goes up forever, and that's when TA comes into play, like technical analysis is when we're looking at the charts and we're seeing, okay, what is the previous all-time high? Is this oversold? Is this overbought? What's the new news in crypto is slightly more important than technical analysis. Whereas in stocks, technical analysis is your bread and butter over a 365-day period. Now, sometimes okay, Apple is about to drop the new iPhone around September. Around that time, the stock is gonna rise. This has been consistent going on for years and years and years and years. So people know that. People buy that option. People make money on that option. But the sad part about that is, we were saying earlier, is how many people think that learning the markets is just beyond reach for most people, when it's really not that hard. People learn things that are just as or more complex than reading charts. It's just self-confidence and what we've been taught and what we learn. Anybody who has sustained wealth has touched the market in some kind of way. Period. Period. It's just no way around that. They touched the market in some kind of way, whether their company has been listed on the stock exchange itself, or they are trusting an investor to put that nest egg back for them, or they're investing themselves. They've touched some kind of market. Nobody is just doing the same thing repetitively. Mark Cuban, all these people are in the market. Warren Buffett is in the market. Bill Gates, he's in the market. And they have to keep their shareholders pleased. That's why it's the whole motive behind, okay, why do I make the Windows 2028 or whatever next Windows? Why do I make the next iOS operating system? These things, if they didn't have shareholders to keep happy and investors to keep moving, they wouldn't have the motivation to do that. So we have to know that the markets are always going to be there. Companies are going to close down, things are going to happen, but the markets are always going to be there. So no matter what you do as your main source of income, it would behoove you to know what you're doing in the markets. And I mean, this as kids, these kids know every song on the radio, every single song on the radio. I feel like if a kid can learn a rap lyric, they can know what support and resistance is on a technical analysis chart. It's not that hard, especially these kids. They come out the womb knowing how to move an iPad, knowing how to dial a number or call their mom or whatever. So anybody can learn how to do the markets. You just have to want to learn and not expect to, okay, I'm a read in the market, and by next week I'm gonna be Warren Buffett. It don't work like that. You're gonna take L's. You're gonna take a lot of L's. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna take big L's. But the thing is, if you got some stick to it about you, you can make a lot of money in the market. And you don't even have to make a lot of money in the market. You can make $200 or $300 a day in the market. You can make $500 a day in the market, and that can grow to $1,000 a day in the market.
That's a salary for some people.
Exactly.
That's a
so you're gonna
salary.
go to Walmart and I'm not down talking to anybody that works at Walmart, but I'm just saying you go to any job and you make $100 a day, or once you add up that $10 or $15 an hour and you subtract the taxes, you probably have made $100 in that day. You could have done the same thing in the stock market and at the very least doubled your salary. At the very least, what do you have to lose? You know, but at the end of the day,
that's all about, you know, like you said, learning.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That technical analysis and stuff like that, and being able to really, really study what you're doing and doing it just so you could make those small gains, small daily gains, or those daily paychecks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But see, the thing is, Mobile is one of the is one of the only places. I guarantee you can't go to LA to do this. You can't go to New York to do this. You can't go to Cali. You can't go to Atlanta to do this. You can't go to New Orleans to do this. Mobile is the only place in the world that I'm willing to bet this where it's people that are willing to teach you this for little to nothing or free, or at least give you some kind of game. Now, you know, Snoop say the game is to be sold, not told, and I get that, you know, because I'm at the point where, you know, I'm like selling some very valuable information, but it's a lot of people who sell information who are just selling a big nothing burger. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Finding space, finding
Ron just a
around it.
brilliant dude,
Yeah, he
bro.
just
It
get
doesn't matter
into
what
it.
you're talking
Right.
about. You can be talking about music. You
He
can be
just
talking
get
crypto.
into it, right?
He
Yeah.
study, man. He's
Business.
one of
He's a
the one of the
brilliant
ones
dude.
who study.
Yeah.
He studied
Yes.
to
Right.
elevate. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some people will reach a
Right.
certain peak and then they'll
Get
stop
comfortable.
studying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
get stagnant.
Yes.
Ron is one of them guys, man, who gonna continue to. You know what I'm saying?
He's
If he
that
can't,
dude.
if he can't do this, he finna figure that shit out.
Right.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He the type of guy to go to Mardi Gras, stand one time and see somebody else on a golf cart and be like, well, that's me next year.
And that's fact.
You know?
Saw him on a scooter.
Hey,
And
real
I'm like,
shit.
yep.
Hey, he passed by me on the scooter. I said, what the fuck? I said, what are you riding on, boy? That shit was high tech. I ain't never seen nothing like it for real. But speaking of high tech, let's I wanted to get into the jewelry that you brought up earlier. You were saying that. I was
Are
imagining
you
that
wearing
that was
some of it
probably
now?
Yeah,
Okay.
man. So this chain, this is actually the first piece. Me and my business partner, we designed and you know, got this all the way right, man. And you know, a lot of people aren't doing a lot of elaborate custom pieces. Even when you see custom pieces, a lot of times it's just alphabets like CMB or you know, whatever it is that they have put into an acronym or whatever. They just get that done. And me personally, I have just never believed in doing the norm. So, you know, I always try to step outside of the box. But with the whole chains and rapper jewelry and stuff like that, which I do, I don't mind doing. I can suit anyone's needs, you know, but I saw that there was a market for legacy jewelry, meaning like class rings, fraternity rings, championship rings and stuff like that. I actually have one right here to show you. This is actually like a custom design that I did for LaFleur High School. You know, I actually
So sweet.
actually presented that to them for the first time today. It's crazy. I came on the podcast today
Right.
and presented that to them for the first time today.
It's fire. I've
And
already seen it.
the reaction.
Yeah.
The reaction
I feel
for
like a
it.
boss when I put this on.
Yeah,
I feel like I feel different already.
Yeah, that's dope.
I was like, I want to wear it. Shit.
When I'm just sitting here feeling different.
Yeah, and so the thing is, I want you to look at it. This is my class ring, bro. And I thought this is what a class ring.
That
is.
signified all his hard work right there.
Yeah, you know
Now
what I'm
imagine
saying?
this.
Yeah.
If I said this
Yeah.
how hard I work right here.
Yeah,
know?
and you could be proud of your school, man. Like this right here, this is like something a vampire would wear or something. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like that's
That's on a different level.
like they
right
just
there.
put a birthstone
Totally
in
different
it.
level.
They just put a birthstone in it and
This
called
is
it a
nuts.
ring. And at the time, you know, I just wanted it to have a class ring, and so you know, I bought it, but for a long,
And then
long
because it's they were the only
yeah.
only place you could really get it from. Or at least that's what they put for us, and that goes all the way back to middle school. I remember Justin's rings and cap and gown and all that stuff at my middle school graduation.
Right.
So they haven't had any
Man, going back
competition at all.
farther than that, I got an older cousin. And when I say older, I mean he's a senior citizen. He graduated in 1964. and he went through Johnston's.
That's crazy. Yeah.
He went through Johnston's, and so no shade to Johnston. Y'all love the big fish in the tank, But at the same time, as far as the fair marketplace goes, as far as what we're trying to bring, we can bring this kind of quality rings that
looks like a freaking national championship.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
this kind of
won the
quality.
Super Bowl or something.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, and the sad hurdle that I've experienced, and I even experienced it today, like literally, not from LaFleur because they were very professional, but from someone else who inquired about the jewelry or whatever. And they were like, they wanted something, and then they want to know, well, who's going to be designing, like, who's going to be doing this? And I was like, me. And, like, I was like, no. He's like, but I want the same person who did that ring. I was like, it was me.
It was me.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just hard when you don't fit within a certain mold.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not water to where I take the shape of whatever I'm poured in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm water to where I apply pressure and the tide begins to erode and make the shape that I want it to make.
Ice.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like it is what it is when it comes to that. But the difficult part of business is people are used to things looking one set way, and that's the way that it's supposed to look, or they're uncomfortable.
Right.
Even if it's a better product. So, long story short, we're tapping into that, and we just want to give people great jewelry, and
That's
I don't.
a great product.
Yeah,
I mean,
But I don't stop here. I do wedding rings. And everything is basic. Now, if it's a class ring, of course the whole class will get it. But like when I do like wedding rings for people and stuff like that, those are usually one of ones, and I'll find like what is the staple of your relationship, like what do you hold near and dear, and I make the ring out of that rather than
some cookie cutter.
Yeah, some cookie cutter design, because I want, when you look on your finger and you see that ring, I want that to be a reminder that the love that these two people share is different than any other relationship. So
Special dates, special places,
legacy.
Yeah.
And that's why the name of the company is Divine Legacy. Yeah. And that's just what it is, man. Art is not a monolith. At first I was doing music and people were, they knew me for that, and then in school I was known for drawing and different things like that, and then some people even know me for doing poetry. I battle rap. Then going on and writing the scripts for Lil Ron Ron and doing animation and stuff like that, and then it goes over to jewelry, but it's still the same approach. A painter may use, depending on the job, is going to use different brush. You know what I'm saying? And so it's pretty much the same thing for me as I cycle through my tools.
You're a trailblazer. Yeah. You carve your own path.
And let me say about music, because he's being modest when it comes to music, right?
Yeah. I know how that go. I know how that
feel. Yo, what drew me to this dude, like I said, when I say a young me, like I said, I was an artist too. You know what I'm saying? I did a lot as a, independently, you know what I'm saying? So once I heard this dude, we already clicked as people, you know what I'm saying? It's very few people you're going to have around you who are going to be a person of their word. When it comes, this is probably for anybody in my team. But if you was to ask who the first person you're going to call, and they're going to be there, they're going to say Pryme. You know what I'm saying? So we connected as people first. But when I tell you his music, that I hadn't had to fight with him about not not really doing it, because and I don't knock it, because his mind has always been bigger. Music end up being a small thing to him. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because it's like, it's taking too long to get to the money when it comes to the music. You know what I'm saying? But lyrically, man.
You know how I know you're telling the truth?
It's records.
You know how I know? Because I've heard Ron G say this before.
Man, I'm telling you.
I've heard G say it.
His records, man. I got records that this dude did that never put out. Never
Where's
finished.
it at, man? Where's it
Like,
at? You can't
I
hoard
mean,
it.
like lyrically, he is a dog.
I
You
believe
can't
it.
hoard it, man. You
I
gotta
believe
give it to
it.
the world.
Yeah.
You gotta
Man,
give your art to the world.
So I always said, you know, if I get the other phases of life ironed out, you know, I would get back to it. But the funny thing about me, and anybody who knows me will tell you, they have never ridden in a vehicle with me that I was driving and heard the radio on. So I don't listen to music. So everything that I make is still one of one. I don't listen to it because it's not that I don't like music. It's just the fact that I don't like to be influenced.
Infected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't like to be influenced. Music is a very, very, very powerful thing. So when I'm in a certain setting, like how we are now, then yeah, I'll listen. Or like if like I'm at a party or something, or I'm out and somebody else is playing music, then I'll listen to the music. But me personally, just indulging in music, I just choose not to, man. So when I was making music and when I make music, it's literally all just me, original.
Yeah.
From the beats, like
awesome.
yeah. From the beats to now, I don't make beats, but I'll literally go to Ron G and be like, man, like if you ever heard the Run Run theme song, like I literally went
I
to
listened
him.
to it today.
Yeah. Like I literally went to him and I was like, bro, I hear a tuba. Do this. And then he'll play it on the keyboard, and then I'll be like, okay, put a piano riff right here. And then that's how I made my beats. Like, you know, I didn't like, it wasn't just, oh man, this producer got this nice track or whatever, because whatever I heard in my head is what I heard in my head, you know, and that's what it has to be. That's the wave I have to surf on, you know. So I'm just real big on originality, and I don't even like to come close to plagiarism, bro. Like, so that's like when I started making these rings and stuff like that, like I want it to be so different. Like, this is just a class ring. Wait, I'm making a championship ring for somebody right now. Wait till you see the championship ring. Like, it's that much more extravagant. And like I said, it's not to downplay anybody else. It's just, we live one time, man. We live one time, and the things that we leave behind, the things that we created, those things are eternal. So what you gotta put your heart in this shit. Like you gotta go as hard as you can go if you want to leave a mark. And that's not important to a lot of people. But you know, 100 years from now, nobody in this room is gonna be here. But you know, likely we'll all have a tombstone. I would just prefer that mine be a landmark instead of just another grave in the cemetery. And whatever when my descendants come, they can look at that and say, my life is different because he existed. Because if you just existed, you know, what is the purpose? You know what I'm saying? Like you just wasted time.
Ain't no practice life, you know.
Yeah.
You got one chance.
Yeah.
You know.
So, and it get deep when you start talking like that. But at the end of the day, man, I'm just grateful that, you know, God gave me that kind of gift. And it took, and you know, like you were talking about your circle being so important earlier, like it took them, I didn't have very much confidence in self, you know, like I thought the things that I was doing, like, man, nobody's gonna like that. There's just too far out there, you know what I'm saying? Like they gonna think I collect Pokemon cards or something. You know how everybody looked at the kids at school that collect Pokemon cards. Nothing against the kids that collect Pokemon cards. But you know what I'm saying? I was just like, man, I hope that people can like enjoy it. And it took the people around me like, hey man, you need to let somebody see this.
Yeah.
When I wrote my first script, you know, unfortunately, you know, he was away doing some
locked
time.
up, man.
He was doing some time or whatever. And I told him I had this script in my head. He called me from the prison or whatever, and he was like, you know, we just having a regular conversation, and he was like, I was telling him, I said, man, I got this script in my head, bro. I hadn't written anything since I was 16 years old, and the only reason I wrote something in is because the drama class teacher told me it was either write a play or get expelled. I knew my dad was gonna kill me if I got expelled. I had never written nothing in my life, but when she told me to write a play, the pen started. I can't make this up, man. The pen started moving itself. I had written the whole play then one day. We did the play. It got a standing ovation every single time that we did it. And I tell her, Miss May, I tell her all the time, man, thank you for that. But I was 22 before I wrote something serious again. And I was telling him, man, I got this script in my head. Like, it was called Humble. And, this is going on and that's going on. And he was like, man, that's different. He was like, where you come up with that? I was like, bro, I've been able to, create something, but ain't nobody gonna like nothing like that, bro. I ain't gonna waste my time. He was like, man, write that shit. Write that shit. And I wrote the entire script and I mailed it to him. You know what I'm saying? While he was locked up, you know what I'm saying? And he was calling me, like talking about different areas of the script or whatever. And it was just so amazing to me how I was able to make the storyline. Because when you're writing something, you're telling a story that doesn't exist. Yeah. So, you have to create the dilemma. You have to create the solution. Mm-hmm. If there is a solution, you have, you know what I'm saying? Or like you have to be if a movie has 20 characters, at some point in time, you have to be all 20 of those characters. Mm-hmm. If you don't want it to be watered down and diluted and predictable, you have to be all 20 of those characters. Tell the story from their gut, like tell the story from where a place that they feel it and put it out there, and the whole story has to make sense. Because right now we're living in a movie. Mm-hmm. Just we're all characters in this one big grand scheme, and this is just a part of the movie where the plot thickened for us to be in the same space. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And who knows how things will turn out, but it all just boils down to how you can do it, man. And I just try to keep it natural.
So how did you get into Ron Ron? How did all that turn into? You said you were 22.
Yeah.
And so did it happen then?
No, Ron Ron was 2016. Ron Bush made this video. It wasn't animated. He was doing like making fun of like this. He had this character Keisha who was supposed to be his mom, and he was Ron Ron, and he would play his dad or whatever. He made this video and it went semi-viral. When I say semi-viral, like maybe 100,000 views. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And this dude from Indiana named Brandon Reed, that's my dog, but we're not related, but this dude from Indiana named Brandon Reed hit Ron up and was like, man, this would be really funny if I animated it. Yeah.
And I remind you, at this point, he had did the voiceover with it. Yeah. Too. That's what made it.
So
that's
you
what
did a voiceover with
it? No. Ron had did the voiceover
gotcha,
with the same voice that he's doing
Lil Ron Ron
with now, but it was actually him doing it.
Okay.
So he was playing all three characters, like kind of on some Eddie Murphy type clumps type shit. Like he was playing, and still to this day, he is Lil Ron Ron, he is Big Ron, and he is
like
Keith.
Seth MacFarlane kind of.
Yeah. How he does the whole family dynamic. Right. Yeah, but he had done this as himself. In real life, he was just recording it in different times and then just placing it, in the video. But anyway, Brandon was like, yeah, man, I think that'd be dope animated. Very first video was a hit. I watched this man get 400,000 followers in a matter of 20 minutes. I seen it with my own 2 eyes. It was the craziest shit I ever seen in my life. So, but I watched it as time went on. Ron was still doing his thing now, but they wasn't hitting like that first one was. And then by the time he made the third or fourth one, I reached out to Alex, because Alex is the kind of the thing that held everything together. Like it's a lot of within the empire that wouldn't have happened without Alex. But Alex went to Murphy with Ron, and that was one phone call. Like, hey man, I got this dude. And Ron at that time, he knew it. That's one thing I will say about Ron. A lot of people got too much pride to say, I need help. Like, you know what I'm saying? Ron is like, he believes in, this is your strength, be strong. This is my strength. I'm going to be strong. And you know what I'm saying? Let's work together to get to the greater good. Mm-hmm. So when we met at Hooters right up here. And I told Ron, I said, man, I had written the script in the notes of my phone. And I said, I want you to read this, bro. I said, if you ain't about to fall out your chair laughing, you can just walk off and boom, boom, boom. Man, I could tell he hadn't even gotten to the funny part yet. To me, that was the funny part. And he was already laughing. And he was like, man, hell yeah. And so the rest is history, man. And then in 2019, we were contacted by this company, a legendary company, if you look them up, called Malico Records. And that's when we signed our first 6-figure deal in April of 2019. And Malico is responsible for the Mississippi Mass Choir. They're responsible for Johnny Taylor, My Last $2. That song, Ring My Bell. They got songs on the American Gangster soundtrack. Kanye sampled so many songs from them off of the College Dropout album. Last time I was up there, I was watching them negotiate with SZA on a song that she had sampled for them from them. So like a very, very storied company that pretty much helped us get to another level. Fast forward to now, I'm in the process of writing season 12. We are now moving to 22-minute episodes, so because we're going for TV now. Like we got like 760,000 YouTube subscribers, like 750,000 followers on Facebook, like 400,000 followers on Instagram. I don't even know how many followers on TikTok. We got an app dropping now, and it's gonna be a game, and it's literally like I think once people play this game, like I think that they are going to be like hooked on this game, man. I think it's gonna be one of those things that really, really, really have people like looking at their phone like Candy Crush did back in the day.
Right.
So we got a lot of big things planned.
Have you written a pilot yet? Have you like been working on a pilot at all for going on TV? Or thought of like what you would do? Would you do something completely new if you put Lil Ron Ron on TV, or would you try to continue it?
So completely new is the longer episode, because Lil Ron Ron, as it has been in the past, is one idea, one idea, one dilemma, and a quick settlement. The video started off as 2 to 3 minutes. They graduated to 5 to 6 minutes. Season 11, we did for the first time 20 episodes, and some were 6 minutes, some were like 11 to 13 minutes. So after that, I was like, now it's time to go ahead and do like real 22, 24-minute episodes, the same thing that you see on Family Guy, and it's going to be complete storyline. So I'm building the Lil Ron Ron universe. So literally, when I say I'm building the Lil Ron Ron universe, they'll tell you I have literally built 3D models of what the neighborhood is really going, because like a lot of times the animators are like the bedrooms might change a little bit, but if you Google the Simpsons universe, Springfield is Springfield, and Lil Ron Ron is based off of Mobile, so it's a lot of staples that I put in the Ron Ron universe, like the RSA Tower or the cruise terminal. Like it's a lot of different things that are a place that like the schools are different, of course, because you got to get clearance for that. But it's just certain things that if you're from Mobile, the city doesn't look exactly the same, but it's certain things that if you're from Mobile, you just gonna pick up on and you're gonna notice. And people are taking notice, like Rasheed Rice, the receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs, like he hit us up. He wanted to be in an episode. So working with him like literally right now. He's doing something right now for us. It's so many. T Magic, who is the magician that's going viral on social media right now, he just did that thing with Kevin Hart just yesterday. He reached out. He wants to do something. So it's a lot of different people who want to collab with Ron Ron, and it's getting bigger. It's been gradual because a lot of people don't understand that animation is a very, very, very time-consuming process, and we just added our third animator, right? So like South Park and Family Guy, like they might have a room of 40 animators, and we're trying to do what they're doing with 3.
Right.
And it's very, very time consuming, to get an episode out. But, we have very appreciative fans. When it does come out, 9 times out of 10, it's always gonna hit hard, and people are always going to mess with it.
Right. Most importantly, it's funny.
Oh,
as
yeah.
long as it's funny, you gonna
Yeah.
be all right. That's really what the people want, the laugh.
The crazy part about that is I can write comedy. I've always been a funny guy.
Right.
But drama is really where my heart is. Like, we had a series called Burning Bridges, and I really think if we would have had a chance to drop it, I think it would have changed the whole scope of social media. Like, the storyline of it was so gripping. I was going through just transparency. I was going through a divorce at the time, and that just completely derailed the whole project. But
And I'm talking about, boy,
like,
I've been on about that.
we talk every day, and one out of 3 conversations is about, man, we still need to do Burning Bridge. Like, we talk every single day. Alice hit me up like, man, we need to do Burning Bridges, and I promise you, if it's breath in my body, once everything is together, there will be some independent filmmaking going on, and there will be some series put out and stuff like that. Because one, just like everybody is finding out, we have rap talent in Mobile. It's some camera talent and some acting talent in Mobile. It's a girl, Christian Lucy, like she just naturally knows what to do in front of the camera. Like, it just comes to her. Like, and
She was doing a good job in that Burning Bridges too.
yeah, Kevin Young, he live in Atlanta now. Like, phenomenal actor. He can jump into character. Rachel Mack, who everybody knows for acting in Mobile, but she's a gem. You know what I'm saying? Just slept on. So we have avenues, and Alex is so underrated as a cameraman.
Shout out to Al, shout it. Shout out to Al, shout it for sure.
Yeah, man. He is such a like, from not just the perspective of, because a lot of people when they record stuff, they're just basically using the camera as an eye of someone who's looking at something from a stationary perspective. But that's not just it. Like, if someone's doing something sneaky, that's a camera angle. If that, you might be setting up a plot for something that's not going to happen till 3 minutes later, that's a camera angle. You might be setting up a romance scene, or somebody is about to ambush somebody, that's a camera angle. And the human eye is trained to only look at something for so long before it gets bored. So you have to know it's a science to how often do I swap these camera angles. And me and Alex have such a chemistry that we almost don't have to speak without knowing how to go about moving these cameras around, and when to make the edit, when to make the chop, when to do this, when to do that. So when the time does come, when we're able to finally make that film, and we talk about this every day, but when the time does come, when we finally make that film, I think that the impact is gonna leave a crater, like, for real.
I agree.
Also, I'm gonna bring this up because he don't be speaking on this, and I get on his ass pause about this too. A spinoff from Lil Ron Ron is a show, a character that he created himself. It's called Reverend Let Me Hold $8.
So Rev
was a character on Lil Ron Ron.
Right.
It started with him dressing up and doing this crazy shit with the voice itself and everything, and shot some raw footage, pause videos and stuff of doing that Alex shot. You know what I'm saying? And been on his ass pause about, hey man, finish up the Rev cartoon. So we finally got season 1 out the way. Not plugging it enough. So I'm not gonna let him talk about the animation and not even mention this cartoon that he created himself from start to finish, from the characters to the writing.
Have they done
to
anything
everything.
with it?
Yeah, it's on YouTube, man.
on YouTube.
Reverend, let me hold $8. Man, Rev,
And this
Rev
is
is hilarious.
This
man.
is gonna be just as big or if not bigger than Ron Ron, in my opinion. Over time, with more. So, go ahead, man.
Be on the lookout for that.
Yeah,
Reverend,
Let me hold $8, man.
And the first season is already out.
First season already out. Y'all go check it out. Yeah. Rev is just. I grew up in a Baptist church, man, and like, it's some characters at church. It really is. You know what I'm saying? Some of the funniest people that you can meet. Rev is just a mixture
so true.
of
Baptist,
all of those characters. So he's like, he has good intentions, but a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, he is prioritizing tithe money and being able to have a mega church. He got a good heart, but he see what TD Jake's doing over here, and Creflo $8. No relation to Creflo either.
Yeah.
We got Lemon Hole $8, Creflo $8.
That's what I did. I thought that. When I heard that dollar, I said, "Oh,
yeah." So they might be distant cousins or something. But Rev always say no relation to Creflo.
They brother spiritually.
Yeah. And Rev is naive, man. Like, dude telling me he got some angel dust, and Rev take it thinking that it's something to help him get it closer to God. You know, it's like it's just all they tell him that this woman tell him that she going on a missionary trip and she want him to go. He's thinking about the wrong missionary. And you know what I'm saying?
The glory hole.
Yeah. And so he goes.
Damn, I ain't realized how many names and words were.
Yeah. So then he go into this gas station bathroom and he see a glory hole and he think it's a portal to heaven. And you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm telling you, man.
I never realized there was so many connections to.
Yeah, man.
Damn.
Man, when I tell you that, it's funny, man.
Angel dust, glory hole.
Bro, he sees the Klan at the church van break down on the side of the road, and you see the Klan over there, and they saying Heil Hitler, Heil Hitler. He saying he think they're saying Hi Hitler, Hi Hitler. And they talking to him, and they want him to come over there, and everybody wearing like these white robes or whatever. And so he go over there, man.
What church y'all with?
Yeah, man. So Rev is a real character, man, and it's raw
also,
comedy.
And it's also including Run as one of the characters. Run from Lil Ron Ron. He's a character on that as
Usher Raymond.
And
so
then
think about
Davis.
Usher. He's an Usher, and his name is Raymond. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Usher Raymond. So it's a lot of.
Dude, it's good. I'm gonna check this out. I didn't even know about this one. Yeah, you gotta plug this way more.
Exactly.
Yeah. I gotta admit, Boss is on something with this one. Yeah.
And then Daniel, who the army artist we have, he's Deacon Peabody.
Right.
And like I said, he's singing. Y'all gonna have to watch that shit.
Man.
I'm gonna check that
Deacon
out.
Peabody stutters real bad in regular speech, but he can sing his ass off.
Perfectly.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's good. That's good, man. This has been an excellent podcast. This has went like pretty smoothly and naturally. I've really been enjoying
I'm
this.
impressed, bro. You're very smart, man. You're super intelligent. That's one of the main things I've gained here. That you're incredibly smart, and man,
We
got your
appreciate
hands in
both
so
of
much
y'all,
stuff,
for sure.
man. Like it's crazy because, I mean, honestly, I need a consultation for this crypto thing.
Yeah, we can definitely sit down.
Especially when it comes to the whole like when I go to cash out, how to do it intelligently.
Yeah,
you know, because I've been listening.
Yeah,
like I got the bag. I've been listening. You know, but I just need help on this exit.
Yeah.
Do that, but man, you're super smart, man.
Yeah.
You know,
We got
between
2.5
the crypto-
hours under the belt. That's a
between
good.
the crypto,
Yeah.
between the jewelry, which I think is brilliant, between the Ron Ron stuff, man. Like I'm just blown away. I'm like, man, like you know, you're super multifaceted. I'm super grateful that y'all came out, man.
Right.
Everybody needs to go check out Legacy.
Divine Legacy.
All the plugs.
Yeah.
Shameless plug time right now.
Yeah,
Hit
yeah.
all the
All
plugs.
right, man. So
Shameless plug time.
From the jury perspective, we got Divine Legacy. The website is under construction, but you're about to see a lot of that in the Mobile County school system, also in the Conecuh County school system. We working trying to get into Birmingham City schools, but you're about to see a lot of Divine Legacy in a lot of these different schools. Lil Ron Ron, that's the cartoon that everybody knows of. I appreciate all the support. If you haven't subscribed, please go subscribe. Also, the
YouTube.
other cartoon,
You got Twitter.
yeah,
Instagram.
YouTube. You go subscribe on YouTube and go follow and subscribe on Facebook. Like those are the main two, but also Instagram and TikTok. It's Lil Ron Ron. All you gotta do is look it up. It's gonna pop up the same way on each platform. Reverend let me hold $8. That is
Spell
so Reverend REVEREND. Let me hold LEMMEHOL.
That's the first name.
That's the first name. A is the middle initial, and that stands for a lotta. And dollar is
stands for a lotta.
Yeah, and dollar is DOLLAR.
Is that a joke in the show yet? Yeah. It's like, what's your middle name stand for? He's like, a lotta.
And it's so funny because dollar is singular. But,
right, a lot of dollar.
Yeah. But
it's good.
Yeah, and also coming soon, man. Black Diamond Spring Water. That's just a project. Some of the most alkaline water, 7.3 pH, straight out of the ground. You know what I'm saying? No additives. One ingredient, straight water, filtered water. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That'll be coming soon. I got some inventions that are in the fold that I just can't, non-disclosures and things like that I can't speak on, but
not yet. But next time you come back, episode 15, we'll be ready. We'll be ready.
Got that going, and man, it's a bevy of other things. I don't even want to bore everybody, but I do want to just plug those things, and your continued support is greatly appreciated. Shout out to everybody that's involved with the Empire. Our film specialist Alex Young, Al Shot It.
Shout out
Al
to Al.
Shot It. Daniel Davis, one of the greatest voices in R&B. Crete, the voice that everybody just hadn't heard, and my partner in crime with Lil Ron Ron, Ron Bush.
Yes.
Shout out to Shawan Javez and everybody else that's affiliated with the team.
Shout out to the team. Shout out to the team and Boss Man.
Shout out Triple
You got
Threat.
anything to say before you want to get out of here, bro?
Hey man, this podcast was all about Pryme.
Yeah,
man.
I understand.
That's why I'm laid back.
Well,
in
we
the
appreciate
cat.
having you here for sure.
I appreciate y'all having me, man.
Yeah, you definitely added value to the podcast, 100%. This is one of those things where it's like it's just a nice natural collaboration of people where you can sit and just express stuff and think, and that's what it's all about.
Daniel Davis, though, like I said, he mentioned Daniel.
Great R&B singer.
Continue to go stream. She loves me not. Stream the latest single featuring Crete. Forget That is on all platforms. And just continue to support, man. Everything that we're doing. 3T Empire, man. Right in the city, baby.
You heard it here. You heard it live at the Healthy Harvest. Seed to Success. We sure do appreciate y'all tuning in. This is episode 3. We're checking out.
Episode 3, triple.
Appreciate y'all. Triple. Hey.
You know I'm talking the club. This is that buy everything that you want when you up at St. Laurent. Yeah, man, I gotta go get it. Me, man, I gotta go get it. Swear that I gotta go get it. I just want hundreds and 50.